You see, is it up?
It's coming up in a second. It should be up. Yep, it's up now.
Is it so PlayStation did a state of play today?
Yep,
Here,
that's it.
good grief. Here's our can you fix the title?
Oh, what did I put? What did I do? So PlayStation did a state of play today. Here's our impression. Oh yeah, that R is the wrong R. Sorry. Shut up. It
No, you
wasn't
shut up.
wasn't even viewable.
Anyway, we're gonna get redirected to there now. And see you guys on the other side. And for those who are on Twitch, I said Twitch, Twitter, um, you're good to go. You're good to go. So I'm still streaming on this side, and you'll see all that goodness. So no need to
Oh,
worry.
so you're doing the Twitch too?
No, just Twitter.
I mean
I
Twit. Oh,
misspoke.
Twit. Oh, you misspoke. I was about to say, when did we start doing Twitch too? Ah, that looks like Vision. Discount Vision.
You talking about?
The giant human in the video.
Oh, you mean for Concord?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
look,
his head
since
looks like Vision.
uh, since we are Concord, let's talk about this PlayStation State of Play that was this earlier today. And this State of Play happened about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't think the redirect worked. Did everyone come through in the
Yeah,
redirect?
it shows 22 people over here. 23. Yeah, it shows them over here. 24.
Um, we finally got to see Concord, which is a game that's being made by Firesprite. I think they own Firesprite. I'm sorry, Firewalk.
Firewalk.
Firewalk. I think they own Firewalk. And this game was initially shown a teaser trailer back in like the last showcase, which was last May. It was a year ago. It was a
Yeah, it
year
was like a
ago.
year ago.
And they didn't really show us anything. It was like what is it? What was it like a 1 minute teaser trailer that showed the ship and a sandwich,
A
But
sandwich
now,
in high definition.
right now we got a narrative trailer for it that I think um it the trailer looked nice, even though it wasn't gameplay. But you definitely get a lot of like Guardians of the Galaxy vibes from this game. And even though like that's like the theme and the characters and their personalities, the actual gameplay is more Overwatch and Valorant. This is a 5v5 PvP hero shooter, and there will be a beta out for it in July, and it will release August 23rd. So this will be the second um, published PlayStation game to come out this year. Forse, what were your thoughts about Concord?
So when I saw the trailer, I first was like, oh, this looks cool. So this is gonna be like a single player like action adventure game like Guardians of the Galaxy. Looks really
You thought it
cool.
was single player?
At first I did. Well, that's because I
Did
didn't know
you
what it.
not know anything about
No,
Concord before
no, no, no,
today?
no, 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 no. I didn't know because when I started watching it, I didn't see that it was Concord at first. So I
Okay,
didn't see
okay.
I didn't see the because I was at the I was still at work when it came on when it started. So I turned it on. It was like already a minute into the trailer. And I was like, oh,
Mhm.
this looks cool. I was like, what is this? Like some Guardians of the Galaxy stuff? And then when it showed Concord, I was like, oh, I said, what was that trailer? I said that trailer has nothing to do with what kind of game this is going to be. Where's the we already knew it was a multiplayer game that they were working on, and then when they started showing the gameplay, I was like, okay, see, there's the multiplayer, there's the Overwatch clone, and
Well,
to
to be fair, Overwatch and Valorant, other hero shooters do things like this too. And apparently, on a weekly basis, they will have like,
yeah,
I don't know how big they're going to be, but like narrative based things like this, showing the personality of the characters or whatnot. And I think
well, Overwatch is
maybe
supposed to
you've
have
heard me say this
a movie.
before. Well, I don't know if that ever was going to come out or not, but like before Overwatch came out, they had short like trailers, story trailers for every character to kind of give you a little bit of background who those characters are. Valorant has done something similar as well for Valorant, and so I think for a hero shooter, and I've said this for a while. I've said it in regards to when it came to like Bleeding Edge and why some of the reasons I thought Bleeding Edge was a failure. And this is one is because they didn't have characters that people could relate to or that people felt like were cool or hey, if you got that kind of person sexy or whatever. And so if the characters aren't appealing, people aren't going to gravitate towards them. And this is a part of the reason why I said I think the Guardians of the Galaxy vibe was a smart idea, because people like Guardians of the Galaxy, found them humorous. If these characters are really funny, then you're gonna get that in this. But the problem comes with, and from what I saw, I see a lot of things that I see from Valorant. I see a lot of things I see from Overwatch. And I think it will be, the time will tell how this plays out and when the beta launches in July. Clearly, this is one of those games that Bungie said okay to. And this didn't get canceled. And I kind of wonder how it will play in the long run, like, because I'm
But just
gonna
like this
try it
game's
out.
no threat to us. Let it go through.
It's terrible, but
Let
no,
it go through.
I'll give this game a shot, but
Yeah, same.
I'm not like, I like Bleeding Edge. I even liked Overwatch for a period of time. Um, Me and hero shooters, I'm not big on hero shooters, so I think that this is something that like you kind of, we'll see what happens. You gotta play it, to really know. So if it's going to be good towards you, like it's not towards you, but good, a kind of game that you can gravitate towards. But I will reiterate once again how hero shooters work. You gotta have characters people relate to. It has to play well. If it doesn't do those two things, it's dead. It has no shot. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anything else about this one you want to talk about before we move on?
No, it's a good looking game. I will say the one thing I will say, the things they showed at this showcase, and we'll get into more of them. It looked good. I just didn't like the gunplay, but I never really liked the gunplay of hero shooters as it is. Like Overwatch was decent,
Yeah.
but it
Most
could have
hero
been.
shooters don't have great gunplay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not really a focus. Yeah.
yeah, it's not.
Especially when you have characters that are so weird and different, where they don't have, like, you have characters carrying like the tanks. The tanks normally don't have guns.
Right.
So in some of the DPS characters, that they'll be DPS, but for DPS for different reasons. Maybe like Hanzo in Overwatch has a bow and arrow. Um, I forgot the name of the guy that has a sword. It's just like
That's
uh
Hanzo.
that is Hanzo.
Yeah.
Who's the one with the bow and arrow? I think I'm getting them. They're like, I can't remember the characters, but like there's different, like, this there's always very different team dynamics that require you to use different kind of characters. Like there's a sniper in Concord. There's always a sniper, like Widowmaker
Widowmaker,
in in
baby.
in, O- in Overwatch. There's always a sniper. But like you gotta have a different variety of different kinds of characters, and some of them aren't going to be focused on just shooting. And so when you do have those characters that do focus on just shooting, is it good? Because it's like your team has been had their
Oh,
resources
you're right.
split
It is
on
Hanzo.
different things.
I
See,
don't know what
I
I was.
knew I was.
It's
Who's the
Genji.
guy with the bow and arrow?
Genji's the other one with no. Genji's the one with the sword.
Okay, okay,
Genji's
fine, cool.
the ninja looking one with the sword.
Cool, cool, cool. I'm just saying it's gotta play well, and I think they may have nailed it with the characters. I think they have a good diverse group of characters. They got personality. That's fine. They may have nailed that. We'll see. And I think them putting like like shorts out, like short trailers to kind of help get people gravitate towards those characters. That's money well spent, especially for Sony, because that that's kind of their bag. They got Sony Pictures, they got the resources to do those kind of things. That has worked for these games that are have successful hero shooters. So you have to do those things. It's just what has to happen is you gotta nail the actual gameplay, and that is likely probably the hardest part of it. And you got still players away from the other player bases that where they may be just fine playing Overwatch right now, just fine playing Valorant, and maybe they may try your game out for a week or two. But in order to kind of keep them and keep them away from the game they've been playing for years, it's going to be pretty difficult. So we'll see what happens. Are you going to try to beta it out? The beta?
Yeah, I'm gonna try it out. I mean, might as well. I mean, uh, PC, PlayStation, day and date. Definitely gonna give it a go. You know, just to see exactly what it's gonna be like.
So after that, they showed something that leaked out a little shortly before. The state of play of God of War Ragnarok is coming to PC on September 19th. It
Yep.
will support the latest versions of DLSS, XESS, and FSR upscalers, and it will have ultra wide support. As I said earlier, the show
Two of those
Jetpack
things don't matter.
Interactive. Some Nvidia big boy slander there. Jetpack Interactive is doing the port for this like they did the God of War port for the previous game. And again, as I said, they nailed this. I can see Sony definitely just acquiring them because I don't think Sony Santa Monica is going to have any other games on the horizon for them to port anytime soon. And they've been exclusively porting the Sony Santa Monica games. If I'm PlayStation, I'm putting them on everyone else, or you just trying to lighten the load that Nixes have now with porting so many games. What are your thoughts about God of War Ragnarok? And are you going to get it?
Yep, I'm buying it. I still haven't beat it on PlayStation, and
Mm,
once I
mm-mm-mm.
heard the rumors of it coming over, I was like, I'm gonna have a new graphics card by then. So I actually didn't think it was coming this quick. It will be just under 2 years by the time it releases, which is in September. So and it came out November of 2022. So it'll be just under 2 years. I will be buying it over there. Um, the game runs phenomenal on PlayStation 5 right now, especially with the after the latest update. It was running around anywhere from on average like 45 to 50 frames. So sometimes it hits the 60
Yeah.
mark, but it's kind of like middling right there in between, which is way better of an experience than we were getting when it was kind of stuck at 30. But just like the last God of War, it looked phenomenal on PC. I downloaded and played it and turned everything to the max with my 4090. It was like, this is how the good Lord intended us to play games. And yes, I am being a PC elitist because I feel like we have been promised all of these things that console's supposed to give us forever, and we never got them. And so I will take the games that used to be over there and play them in a better way when they finally do come. Still doesn't matter because when the next God of War comes out, I'll still have a PlayStation to play it because unless PlayStation decides to say, "Hey, day and date," I'm still going to buy a PlayStation in order to play the games I want to play when they come out. But I'm looking forward to this one. Just not even for benchmarking purposes, mostly due to the fact that I ain't finished the last one. And I love God of War, but it bored the heck out of me at the beginning, and I know from what most people told me, especially with all the side quests and all the stuff that you do throughout the game, it's very side quest heavy at the beginning. You have to choose not to do those. I think you even told me that you gotta at a certain point you just gotta say, I'm doing the main mission. Stop doing side quests because it throws a bunch of them at you at the beginning.
Yeah, and that's how I played. Like I beat Ragnarok like some people, but no, how I went about it is I was doing all the side quests. I was all invested, and then as usual, like I do once I get my fill of all these side quests, I just start mainlining the main quest, and that's probably if I get it on PC, which I'm not 100% certain I will. But if I get it on PC, that's probably what I'll end up be doing. I'll just be mainlining the main quest and doing whatever any like side quest I may need to just kind of unlock some things I may want to unlock. But I enjoy Ragnarok. I thought the story was well, especially in the last like maybe 3 hours. Oh man, once a certain thing happens, I don't even know if I could, even though the game been out for over almost a year, I can't even say it because this guy over here, my co-host, ain't beat the game yet, but a certain event happens. So after a certain event happens in the story, man, does it just like, I mean, you can't put it down. You just last thing I know, it was like 4 in the
you
morning.
can tell people in the chat.
No, it's fine. I should just say it.
Go ahead.
With your non-game beating behind. Huh?
I beat a game. I don't know what you're talking about.
A game?
Yep, sure did.
Wow, A game. Congratulations.
Thank you. Anyway. I appreciate that. I appreciate
moving
that.
On. Moving. Dynasty Warriors Origins, which is funny because we were talking about Dynasty Warriors last week.
We were.
But Dynasty Warriors Origins is coming out in 2025. I ain't playing it. To reiterate what I said last week about Dynasty Warriors, I used to love those games when there was a Blockbuster, and I used to rent them at Blockbuster, and I just felt great just being like this one-man army slaughtering like whole platoons of soldiers. But by the time Dynasty Warriors 6 came out, it was the exact same gameplay. I was. Are you all right, man? You just sneezing and snorting in the microphone. You good?
I'm actually backed up real far from that mic, and
you could have just muted your mic. You could just mute it.
Well, I backed away from because I thought I was going to sneeze and I couldn't reach it, and then just continue.
Are you getting Dynasty Warriors Origins? I
no.
feel like Can we just move on in? Can we just move on in? You want to move on?
I ain't played a Dynasty Warrior game since 360.
We got Infinity Nikki.
What? What was it called?
Infinity Nikki.
Nikki or Mickey?
Nikki. Nikki.
Oh my god.
Well, there's test access to it. I guess it's a multiplayer game or whatever. And in Q3 of 2024, my daughter saw it briefly and she just giggled. She was just like, "Oh, that's cute." She's 8, so she loved it. So I don't know. Maybe she might want to play it on my PlayStation. I hope it's a free to play game because I'm not trying to buy it. But it looked like a lot of like dresses and flowers and springtime or whatever. I don't know. Like it that's the way it looked. I don't even know what kind of gameplay it is. I wasn't really paying too much attention to it. What did you feel about Infinity Nikki? It's like the third time you snored in my ear, by the way. I'm just saying.
I didn't snort in your ear. I just laughed. That was a laugh.
That was a snort. Anyway, continue.
Now that was the Steve Urkel.
Infinity Nikki.
No.
Okay,
no.
Cool. This one actually, I saw a number of people saying they thought this was pretty interesting. Ballad of Antara, which is like the dude with the little kid on his back.
Yeah,
so a lot of people talk about this one. I wasn't all that interested, but I think they might get a little bit of interest out of this one. What are your thoughts on it?
Do you really believe that, or are you just saying that to have content going on right now?
No, look, people was talking about like they thought the game they looked good. I'm asking you,
listen,
did you think the game looked good?
We in the same Discord, and all the people I saw in that Discord, unless you talking about another places.
I'm talking about other places, man. I'm not just talking
places.
about.
Okay.
I'm not just talking about a certain group of people who was just hating on everything.
Oh no, they weren't hating. They were speaking their truth.
Not. I'm joking. They weren't hating on anything. They actually liked some stuff.
Sure. You
but
actually,
no,
I like those people. Be quiet. Don't be talking about them like that. They all family.
I just said I was joking. Good God.
Okay.
Can you answer the question? Can you answer the question, man? Ballad of Antara.
It looked cool. It looked cool. It looked like it could have. It's like they didn't get, I mean, I didn't want them to spend more time on it. For me,
I need to see more, honestly. I thought it looked
that's
like.
what I'm saying. It's like I
Is
want to
this
see
gameplay?
more.
It's like what is gameplay? Yeah.
Like, did they show like listen, they spent the first 10 minutes talking about Concord, and I was sitting there like, dang, nothing else is gonna get more than a minute. if not 45 seconds. So you gotta explain what your game is in 45 seconds. Go.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Felt like.
But now I'm not at the level of like a Everwild where I don't know where it is, but even the dev don't know where it is. But I don't quite know what I'm looking at. And I don't know how much was gameplay, but it looked cool. It looked cool. I'm gonna wait and see on that one. Skydance's Behemoth for PSVR 2 coming out in fall of 2024. This is from the same developer that made The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners. So this is a VR game. I have zero interest in VR. Forte, you good with this, or you know?
It was only one game on this whole list VR wise that I would even.
Alien Rogue Incursion.
That's it.
So are you getting that?
My daughter will get it, and then I'll watch her play it. I'm not gonna play that mess.
We continue to seek for a game that was shown at the State of Play that Forte actually wants to play. Okay, next is Marvel Rivals.
There is one game on there that I do want to play. We just haven't gotten to it yet.
Okay, we'll get to it. Marvel Rivals, which had a closed alpha a few weeks ago, is now also going to have a closed beta coming in July. Hopefully they let me in this time. Bastard.
I was gonna say you didn't get in last time.
I sure didn't. Hopefully, they rectify that, but also they show that they have an exclusive skin that's going to be on PlayStation 5 for Scarlet Spider, which makes sense considering how they want Spider-Man to be synonymous with PlayStation. So it makes sense they would try to get something exclusive. I'm glad they didn't get a whole character exclusive. They just got skin. So they're being a little bit more lenient on that. What are your thoughts about Marvel Rivals?
I think Marvel's been looking for an identity.
Oh,
what?
Yeah, Attic is in the waiting room. He wanted to come in. You didn't even see him.
Yeah, I wasn't even looking at you. Pull him in.
Yeah, I just pulled him in. What's up, Attic?
Yeah. So Marvel's been looking for a winner ever since the movies ended when it came to Endgame and stuff like that. So they're trying to find a W somewhere. I think Guardian of the Galaxy was definitely a really, really good one, but it was mirrored by the way that they promoted and talked about the game all the way up to that point. And a lot of people didn't expect the game to be good, so people didn't go out and support and buy the game at first. So that's kind of what happened there. As they shouldn't have, right? But for this one, I mean, I think it has an opportunity. It just ultimately really comes back to player base and what are they going to do long term with the game to make sure that it's more viable to keep people in, because I think there's way too many live service games out there as it is already. And
I'm playing one right now, Destiny.
Yeah, right. And guess what? And that game don't want to die, even knowing it's about to have a new season and supposedly the end
No,
of
it
everything.
don't want to die, but trust me, it's being buried alive this time. Like,
Yeah, it's gonna be well for a lot of people. They're gonna bury it alive once everything is
Okay,
done.
but back to Marvel Rivals, like
But like you said, with Marvel,
the Destiny tangents, that's
no, but the biggest thing with Marvel,
unnecessary.
well, there's gonna be a conversation next week about Destiny, on next week's DPS podcast because it's gonna be 2 weeks of it too. Matter of fact,
Is it? Is it? No, it's not. No,
Yeah,
it's
it will.
not. It will. No, it will not. So
You
look,
s-
Marvel Rivals. I would say this about it. Here's another Overwatch is hero shooter. This one looks just like Overwatch. Even the environments remind me of some
environments,
maps in Overwatch. But I will, even though don't have any personal experience with it. I did watch a lot of streams, and I mean, unless these content creators were just following along the modus operandi that NetEase had put out, saying if you talk bad about our game, we gonna clap you. Outside of that, I looked at the Reddit and saw people who were in there but weren't content creators saying they enjoyed the game. So, I think when you come down to the two things I say that a hero shooter needs to be successful is characters that people can relate to, and it has to play good. It seems like it has both of those. Now, that is great to have a successful launch, but once it launches, how are you keeping up with content? How are you keeping things fresh? How are you keeping the player base engaged? Because I think there's a very finite number of people who are into hero shooters. And I feel like when you got Valorant on the market, Overwatch, to a lesser extent, what's that other one that High Res makes? Paladins. When you have like these games that are already out there, it's hard to kind of fit in and carve your piece out. But I think they have an opportunity for it. They just got nailed it. Go ahead.
I think this particular game is a rule to the exception because they do have the Marvel IP behind it. There's not a lot of IPs out there that I feel like could pull off a hero shooter and go in there straight competing with like an Overwatch. But I do think because they have the Marvel IPs, as long as they support it correctly and they balance it correctly and keep it where people are happy with the game, I do think that this could easily potentially dethrone Overwatch.
And I think I agree with you because Blizzard has kind of dropped the ball. Like they've got they promised certain things and then they didn't deliver. They created Overwatch 2 when it wasn't even necessary, honestly. And I think the Overwatch community has been very forgiving, but I think a part of that is also what we see from long-term live service games where the player base is kind of loyal by default because they feel like they've invested so much time and money into this game that they're really loath to kind of move on from it, even if it's in their best interest to do so if there's better games that are out. So it's like if they can actually nail it and then get some people to kind of come over and be like, man, hey, look, this plays just like Overwatch, but they're giving us more content. We're getting new characters all the time. They're keeping it fresh. The things are different. It's not playing exactly like the game that we've been playing for the past 3 years. I think they have the opportunity to get that done. Anything else you want to say before we move on to the next one?
No, I'm good.
Nope.
Addy, did you have anything else or are you good?
I'm good. I mean, it comes down to that. I do think Rivals has a lot of potential in the industry. They just, a lot of these companies. The good thing is Net is used to the games as a service model, so I think they will be one of the people that had a realistic expectation of what they needed to do to maintain this type of game. So that's good on their end. But as far as like these other companies, like I do feel like they want to go in here with like half the structure. We might talk bad about Destiny sometimes, but like Bungie has a lot of people, and it takes more than that to even run this game half the time. So, I think that Net is going to put the funding where it needs to go to maintain that game.
Next one was Where Winds Meet, which was I think they showed this game at a state of play last year, and they showed a little bit more now. I think the game looks impressive. It's got like I know people keep saying Soulsborne and Souls like I don't really see Souls in this, but I do think the combat looks cool, very flashy. I like the what I saw from the like the visual, like the art style, the theme of it all. What did you guys think about it?
It looked good.
That's all you got.
Forte?
That's all you got. It looks good.
It looked good. I mean, I don't think like I saw enough of the gameplay to like really validate if I would play something like this. Like it's like Slow Mo said, they showed just enough to gauge my interest, but not enough for me to define what the experience would be. Like we can't even define if it is a Souls like game because of how less they showed us.
Yeah, and that's kind of part of the course at this point. They get you like a mixture of like cutscene and some gameplay, or it's like gameplay with the HUD off or whatever, and so it looks very cinematic. Even and sometimes it's very difficult to tell if that's how the actual game running, or it could be just in engine. And then once they actually start trying to optimize it for the console, you start to see, oh man, that don't look visually like I thought it did. So it's just at this stage and point, I'm cool with it, and it's got my interest, but that could easily change if it turns out it's a kind of a bait and switch there. Forte, what do you?
Yeah,
Is this the one game that you wanted?
Nope. This is where the game started looking the same to me. All of these the next three games they started showing, I was like, it looks like a repeat of the previous.
Yeah, didn't
game.
someone on Twitter say, I swear PlayStation showed the same games multiple times?
There's another game. There's another game from a Chinese developer they showed, I think, at the last State of Play that looked very similar to that.
Right,
and I don't even remember the name of it. Is it Phantom Blade or something like that?
Something like that. But I started looking at games and I was like, I don't get it. But we almost there, Slow Mo. Keep going.
Okay. Until Dawn is coming to PS5 and PC this fall. Hey, don't talk about my Until Dawn.
I like Until Dawn.
Thank you. Until Dawn is awesome.
And both of y'all said y'all were disappointed when y'all saw the way it looked.
Well, visually,
I didn't say that.
Well,
no, not you. Maybe Slow Mo did.
Yeah,
why did you say both?
It looks weird. You did say both.
Oh, I did say both. I said I'm sorry, not you, Attic. I meant Slow Mo.
Oh, okay, that's better.
You're welcome.
Well, I will explain. Well, like I said, it's supposed to come out this fall. It's being made by Ballistic Moon, which is a new development studio. They are former Supermassive devs, and I like this game so much. It's part of the reason, like, I bought a PlayStation 4 back in like 2015. The game's awesome. It's an awesome Telltale narrative-driven kind of style game. I just think visually, I don't know if Ballistic Moon hasn't had enough time or something. I don't know, but it's just. The one thing I know is that I played this game so many times I noticed this. Some of the parts they showed in the part where the cast of characters are walking to the lodge, they changed where the I guess the positioning, like it was overcast in the original games. Things look very like blue. There's snow on the ground. Everything is like kind of like a bluish tint to it. They made it not nightfall, but like sundown. So that it's like it has like an orange tint to it. And I just thought that looked not bad, but different. But then there's other aspects of it that where I'm just like, I mean, the original game doesn't look horrible, but it's just like I expected more on the visual side of things. Maybe they're just showing the PlayStation version and the PC version will look way better or something when it comes out this fall, but I just thought it just didn't look as good as I thought it could have.
I think you're definitely coping if you think that like the PC and the PlayStation version is going to look drastically different.
You're probably right. If Ballistic Moon is doing the entire port for both platforms, then more than likely it's just going to be like the PlayStation version, but
you're just gonna
depending on your hardware, you got the options, and depending on your hardware, you're probably going to be able to play it with like more frames and better resolutions and stuff.
More frames.
Forte hates good games, so he hates Until Dawn. So we're just gonna move on.
No, where you get that from? I watched my daughter play Until Dawn 6 times just to get the true ending she wanted.
you're a viewer and not a gamer. That's cool.
How many people
No,
survived when you played?
my first time through, I lost everybody but 2 people.
I lost someone at the very end because of a damn light switch.
Yeah, you got to play that really, really.
light switch.
I had to put the controller down.
Yeah, that's the way to cheat it. Yeah, there's a particular part of the end of the game where it's like Hayden Panettiere, her character. There's this actually.
What the Wendigo got to do with you having your controller in your hand?
Because you have to sit still.
Yeah, because it can't really see well, but it can see movement. And so you have to sit still, but the DualSense controller, like, was it dual? It was Dual Shock back then. So the Dual Shock controller, if you moved it, it would it's this little meter comes up. You gotta keep it still.
And if sometimes you'd be dead, unless you had like a brand new controller, you could be dead ass still and it'd still move.
Right. And the Wendigo catches you, and then people start getting clapped. So I eventually got everybody to survive, and then the trophies glitched out because I was trying to have everybody die, and I did it, and it didn't give me the trophy for it. But go ahead.
I got to the end with Sam and one other dude, and Sam got killed from the light switch, and Sam was the one I was trying to keep alive, and I was so annoyed. But at the time, I was like, you know what, that it's okay. I remember there's one time where someone falls down this little shafting a little bit, and you have to tell the game that you don't want to save them. You want to go for help initially to save them, because if you don't and you try to get them, he falls down and gets himself killed.
Yeah,
the last time.
The black dude. I hated that part. I was just how do I save this guy? It took me a while to figure out how to save him.
You have to literally say you didn't want it, because what happens is you don't know this, but the chick's in no danger, but you don't know this.
But you don't know that, right? Yeah. You have to basically tell her no, I'm not going to save you. Kick rocks. You have to do it quickly instead of him and hawing. Oh, am I going to save her or not? Because the longer you wait, the more likely when he falls, he's going to fall right into a Wendigo. So yeah, but no, that game. I think that Supermassive's best game. They had their best, more diverse, created characters. It was a more fleshed out story than a lot of their other games are, and I mean, I don't really expect them to get any better the way they've been going with the Dark Pictures games.
All I remember is I was playing, I was running from the Wendigo or running in the woods. I forget the guy's name. I think he had glasses. Can't think of his name. Running through the woods, hit the tree. The tree was in my way, and it knocked me down, and the Wendigo got me.
Yeah, that's Chris. I think that's Chris. And that's the thing. The QTEs in that game are so nerve wracking because if you miss them
out of nowhere, I'm like, where does tree come from?
If you miss them, you are dead. With that part, you miss one QTE, Wendigo was chopping your head off, yo.
What's funny is,
go ahead.
There's sometimes where, in order to keep someone alive, you have to fuck up the QTE on purpose.
Which part was that?
It was the part with the jump. If she got there too soon, she got killed. So you had to delay her from getting there.
Oh, okay, yeah. And there's another one where you have to you're chasing. Ryan is saying we spoiling too much, but this game is literally nearly a decade old. Ryan no, it's not. It's not going to be different. But I did notice in the trailer they added new cutscenes.
Go play the game anyway, so be quiet.
But they did add new cutscenes. I can tell from the trailer. There's just new cutscenes, but I don't think they're changing the story or anything. But no, those QTEs were they go very fast. You have to be on your toes, and for some of the situations, if you miss one, it's a wrap for you. Especially with the parts where you gotta keep still. There is no whoops, my bad. Let me try again. Now that dude's dead. That girl's
Oh,
dead.
I'm
Move
gonna
on.
play it again. Someone said, "Admit you guys are gonna rebuy it." Yeah, I'm gonna play it with my girl. Like, she played the Quarry and really liked it, and I thought the
Hmm.
Quarry was okay. It wasn't their best
I
work
hate the
by
Quarry.
far,
I hate
but
that one.
the this one is like on another level. I think it's under this game is their best work by far. Like, it was
Yeah,
what
by
made me a
far.
fan.
Yeah. Hey, did you know the Quarry originally was supposed to be Until Dawn 2, but Sony owns the IP, and they didn't like how the direction Supermassive was going with splitting their resources the way they have with the Bandai Namco Dark Picture games, and so they
I
end
do
up
think that was a mistake on their end. They shouldn't have done
y-
that.
yeah, they were making a game a year. It was just like that's untenable. Like that doesn't
But
work.
the
Like
thing
you're
is
doing too
like
much work.
sometimes in game development, like that's necessary to continue that funding, so they can continue to make games. That's why I'm glad they teamed up with They teamed up with Dead by Daylight, and they're making games based off of their villains. I'm pretty sure. And
Hopefully they make better deals than Telltale did, because this is the path that Telltale went, where they were always licensing other popular IP, but their contracts also had the owners of those IP making the lion's share of the money, which Telltale just kept making these good games, but they were still broke. And so it was just like they ended up going out of business because they really at some point need to start making their own original IP. And I just kind of hope Supermassive doesn't go down. They were already kind of gone down the Telltale road, I think, with taking on too many projects all at once. That would be like kind of like the put like the final nail in their coffin, because they've lost their founders. All their major directors have left, and made stuff like Ballistic Moon into different studios. I think they're kind of like they're kind of in a very precarious situation, but hopefully they can get it working out. There hasn't been a Dark Pictures game they didn't have one last year. I don't know if they're having one this year or not. That's interesting.
well, I was
But
told, and I know we're gonna move on because people are getting bored of the conversation. But I was
mhm.
told Supermassive originally they partnered to make a Michael Myers game, like a full blown Michael Myers Halloween game, and then
Mm,
they were approached by Dead by Daylight to make a cinematic universe. And the way I feel like they're gonna do it is, they're gonna open up with some of the people that's on it, but then they're going to eventually start making, before a villain comes out, like 3 or 4 months before then, you're going to get to play the backstory of that villain in their game.
mm. That'd be cool. Yeah, I don't like Dead by Daylight. I actually hate that game, but I'll play their Supermassive version of it. I'll play that. It'd be a little bit more interesting to me, gameplay wise. I hate the whole. I call it. What was the name of that game that started it? Evolve. No, it wasn't Evolve. What's the name of that game that where it was like one villain and like a bunch of like heroes or hunters and then one monster. It's always like
That
that
was a
kind
bomb.
of. It was there. We go. Thank you. Evolve. I was right. I hate that gameplay style, but it's
I like it. It's just I
apparently.
feel like they haven't found a way. The problem with those kind of games is they only appeal to a certain audience, and a lot of people don't generally want to work together. So it would always be
Mhm.
a hard sell to people.
So yeah, next game was Path of Exile 2. Early access is coming to PlayStation 5 late 2024. It will have couch co-op, cross-play, and cross progression with PC. Uh, I know there are some people out there that like, especially PC gamers, that swear by Path of Exile and say it's better than Diablo. And I
It
mean, I've
looked good
never
though.
really tried it. It did look good. Definitely looked good. I've never tried it before. I guess well, the original. I guess I'll give this a shot. Were you gonna play this, Addict?
Um, Depends. The problem is I'm getting to the point where, like, now because I record the content for the Addict Arena, I don't got time to play a lot of like extra shit these days.
Mm. Yeah, and I think a game like that probably demands a lot of attention. Like, if you've seen the skill trees for Path of Exile 1, you just like it's very, very intricate. It's not for the faint of heart. Forte, are you gonna give it a shot?
It looked really, really good. I was gonna. Part of me feels like if I was gonna play this, I would just play it on PC already. So that'd probably be the place I was gonna do it. I never really been into Path of the Exile and stuff like that. Even though I'm a huge Diablo fan, so I was looking at it, and when I was looking at it, I was like, man, I should probably try this on PC. But the game looks phenomenal for what they're doing on console, though. So I've never been the type of person that like to play Dragon Crawl. I must say crawlers on console, even though they are some of the best adaptations of the game. So it's definitely something I was
Dungeon
interested in.
crawlers?
I called it something else at first, and then I fixed it.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yeah. So I'm interested, but I probably won't buy it
Sit
on
my hand on the
PlayStation.
desk. Yeah, I mean, well, I think Path of Exile on PC was a free to play game. I think this might be a free to play game. I'm not 100% certain on that. Maybe somebody in the chat can verify that. But I think if the first one was free to play, then most likely the second one will be too. But we'll see. 3 more games left. In this one, I got a little smoke for this one. Silent Hill 2 remake was shown again by Boo Boo Team, aka Bloober Team. But I call them Boo Boo Team because their games is boo boo. They suck, man. They're bad. But they don't make good games, in my opinion. Release date is set for October 8th. I think this game still looks unimpressive. Like, they showed it the first time a few state of plays ago, and it didn't look all that impressive visually. This one, I think, still doesn't look all that great. I mean, I'm not. I wasn't gonna play it anyway because I'm not really into these kind of games. But you would just think if you're doing a remake that it would like visually pop, and this one does not do that at all. But Forte, what are your thoughts on Silent Hill 2 remake?
Once again, I didn't like what they showed the last time they showed it, and I was like, I've never been a fan of Bloober Team. I'm not gonna call them. I'm not gonna disrespect them like you have. You know, we try to get people on our channel. We try to get developers to come rock with us every once in a while, and you keep pushing them away.
Do you really want Boo Boo Team on? You want Boo Boo Team on here?
Listen, Boo Boo Team.
So you could be capping and acting like you really like their games?
No, who said you got to say you like their game? You just
the medium was so good. I love the medium.
He doesn't know how to do it. You could just ask the question like, "Hey, what was the design reasons you went with to forge along to get this game?"
What was the design reasons and that led to the poor performance of the medium of splitting it the way you guys did, and how come you guys didn't nail that great?
Oh my God, Slimmy, you're terrible.
Can you tell me why your motion matching and the walking animations were so stiff, and like you open the door and then she like slides backwards to slide into place to open the door, just like I remember that in like
That's
Xbox
terrible.
360 era, but not like I'm just saying. I'm like, wait, I mean, I'm not saying I would turn it down. There are developers I would love to have on, and I really need to get back to that. Remember that game that I spoke to the CEO of like the indie game, and I wanted to bring him on, Showgunners.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome game. I don't mind bringing devs on. I'm just saying, if your game sucks, or you expect us to be like,
It's a damn
oh,
shame.
I'm just look.
Can
you talk?
Okay, I won't like say a game sucks like that, but I do agree with Slow Mo. I feel like the industry handles a lot of situations like that with like kid gloves, and they don't give like real constructive criticism on a lot of things. And here's the thing: when I'm at PAX East, I'll tell them I don't like the game. I'll tell them why I don't like the game, because I'd rather them find out now why it's in development and they can make some changes off my feedback than find out when the game don't sell.
Makes a lot of sense to me.
Makes sense to me, but I think that's a completely different mindset than what what Slow-Mo's putting out there.
Well,
He's
the
definitely
game
being a
ain't
little
out
extra.
yet.
He's definitely being a little extra.
Well, look at-
Right.
Okay, maybe it's wrong to call them Boo Boo Team. Okay, maybe
Yeah.
I'm.
You
but,
think?
but I'm looking at this game. It's supposed to be a remake, and the game is clearly a much older game. Where I'm just like, this doesn't look like a remake. It looks more like you.
It looks like the cross-gen games in the PS3 and PS4 era.
Yes, it does, and it's just. I said this when Konami chose them. I was just like, why did they choose the Bloober Team for this?
To be honest with you, it's not really even their fault. Capcom has spoiled us with bringing these games to modern day, and now we want all these games to look like these Resident Evil remakes.
Well, but no, that's not. Look, that Capcom raised the bar. Like, you gotta raise the bar too, because they set a standard. Like, just because they did that, it's like, well, hey, we're not Capcom. Well, so what? You gotta
I'm not
step
saying
up.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying Capcom raised the bar, not just like a bar, like a couple bars, and now
Right.
like unless you got 300 or 400 people working on an IP, it's hard to do that.
Right. I'm with you on that. I agree. 100%.
Anyway, we can move on. I will leave them alone. I'll leave them
Are you
alone.
really gonna
Actually,
leave them
I
alone?
think. Well, no, I didn't get Addict's thoughts on Silent Hill 2 remake because I was too busy
think
slandering them. Go ahead.
it didn't look very impressive to me. The idea looked good, and the concept looked good, and the atmosphere looked good, but I'm not normally a graphics kind of person, and I think you guys know that. But when I saw that, the graphics single-handedly made me not interested in the game. Because like that's the worst visually. Like look at who made the Dead Space remake?
EA Motive, I think.
See how many people was in EA Motive?
I'm thinking they're like about 100 or less, but let me. Forte, are you dying over there, man?
No, I'm not dying. Why?
Because I just hear you sneezing and snorting.
No, man, my allergy. It's been a bad day for my allergies. I'm sorry.
It's a little over 100 people at EA Motive.
See how many people was at Blueburn?
On Bloober Team? I don't even know if they got a Wikipedia page. They just let me stop. I'm sorry. Let me just. Wow, they're about the same size, a little over 100 people.
And when you look at something like Dead Space, that game dramatically looks better than what Silent Hill we saw today.
Yeah,
I don't disagree with that. 100%.
And once again, it shows. I don't know what's with PlayStation these days, but it seems like they keep picking these crazy partnerships that don't work out for them. Forspoken, Babylon Fall, this game now. I mean, this game might sell because it does have an audience, but I don't think it's going to sell a lot.
Yeah. I think because I'm not a big Silent Hill fan. I played the first game back on I was in college when that game came out, and it wasn't really for me. And I haven't played a Silent Hill since. But I did see a few people saying that Silent Hill 2 was like the best out of all of them. So I think there might be quite a few people who will pick it up because they like the original game, and it may be nostalgia, or it may be just the hope that Bloober Team actually delivers and executes on this. But I think it'll sell fairly decent because it's a remake of a classic game, and not necessarily because it really looks impressive and people really think it's going to be good. But we'll see. Anyway, Monster Hunter Wilds was shown. I'm not a Monster Hunter fan either, but I do recognize when something is going to print money, and Monster Hunter prints money. Yeah, it's supposed to come out in 2025. I'm sure all the Monster Hunter fans are going to eat this up. How do you play Monster Hunter?
I played a bunch of
and I am super. And this game looks awesome.
So this is the one game that you were so hyped for.
There's others, but this one actually, I was like, yeah, this actually looks really good. I was like, really good. Like, go ahead, Eddie. I cut you off? You were saying something.
Yeah, I played World. I am
Mm-hmm.
a fan of the franchise, so I'm really hoping that they evolve it. I hope they go more towards a world approach, because I know people tell me all the time that you know the only reason I could play Monster Hunter is because they dumbed down World. And when I look at what was the one before this,
I don't know the ones before World. I know there was Rise afterwards, and
Rise. That's what I meant, Rise. Um,
yeah.
I tried Rise and it was mad complicated, and I dropped it. So,
Mm.
like, I want more of a middle ground, and don't like the onboarding of the game. I shouldn't have to graduate a college course on the game, and I feel like World did a good job.
To like blow up when it comes out next year. Anything else you want to say about this Forte before we move on to the last game? Great. Okay.
Ash,
Wait.
it's
Calm
got to be
down.
falling asleep.
No. I had myself muted because I was doing something. This game looks incredible. I like the way it looked. I'm a huge fan of Monster Hunter Worlds was awesome. Ice, what was it? Ice, what's the name? I forget the DLC.
Iceborne or something like that.
Iceborne, that's what it's called. Iceborne. That was cool. If you ever play Sunbreak on Switch, that was fun. And Monster Hunter Rise, that was fun too. The only thing that sucks about these games is not having multiple people to play it with, because you could do up to 4 people. It's even funner if you're doing it that way. So it's always a struggle trying to find people to, want to play something like this. But if you can, it's freaking incredible. Can't wait.
Cool. Well, yeah, as I said, it's supposed to come out next year. It's probably going to be among the best sellers and likely a game of the year contender, considering the pedigree of the IP and how people normally receive it. Last game of the show, and probably my favorite game shown, was the
Yes.
new Astro Bot. And oh my
Oh,
God,
so
I
was it
love
named
Astro
2?
Bot.
It's just
No,
named
it's just called
Astro Bot again?
Astrobot.
I just call it Astro Bot. It don't need a
It
2.
don't need a
It's
2.
Astro Bot.
It don't need
Man,
a
look,
2. It looks so
I would.
cool.
When I first got my PS5, and that game was free with the PS5, it's basically a tech demo for the DualSense controller, but it also pays homage to like PlayStation's history in so many different ways, and it's just such a fun game, and completely underrated is the soundtrack. The soundtrack is fire. I have the Astrobot soundtrack on my Spotify.
I do
Like
too.
I listen to it when I work out. That's how much I love that music. And it just gave me so much joy just watching Astrobot. Like I was just kind of dancing in my seat when they showed it. I was like, yeah, Astrobot's back. I'm getting this. This is a day freaking one. Yeah, I can't wait. Forte, go ahead
No, I want
and
Addict to go.
speak
Addict,
your
go
piece on
ahead.
it.
Talk to his Addict.
It looked really good. It was definitely the star of the show by far. And what's funny is I'm kind of curious where they handle selling the game. That's like my biggest curiosity. Are they balls enough to put a $70 price tag on there? Are they gonna put a 50? Are they going to take the safe route and put it maybe in PlayStation Plus Extra?
Well, if it's the same length of the previous Astrobot game, then it wouldn't be a full price game, because that game, it was free with your PlayStation, but Like I think I beat it in like 8 or
How
10
much is it on the
hours.
store if you don't buy it? Like,
I have
can you?
no idea. If anyone in the chat can check that real quick, see how much it may cost to
Yeah,
actually buy Astrobot.
yeah. I think this game's on another scale compared to the first one too. I don't think PlayStation anticipated so many people to love this title to a degree, so I don't think you
Yeah,
can even really compare the two. I think that
but
the
that's
second
fine.
one probably had like a bigger budget than the first one.
If it's like a $50 game, that's cool. I'll drop that 50 down on it. I'm
Also,
buying
they tried to
this.
hit you with
This
that
is
70. Notice they didn't pre-order. Right. It's
I mean,
interesting they
I
didn't
don't
try to
know
throw
if
the
it's
pre-order.
yeah, I don't know if it depending on how big the game is. Like I don't know. We just saw
You know, it
the
kind of makes
reveal
me feel
trailer
like
for it.
slow-mo. Like they don't
Was that
know what they're gonna price it yet.
that might be the case, especially when you're coming off of like you gave the previous game away, so you kind of need to figure out where your pricing strategy is for this one, and especially like if it's a bigger game than the previous game, then you
I
want to charge something. But then, like, what did you value the first game as if you were going to sell it? Like, it's
I
just
would
kind
say
of hard
40.
to figure out. $40.
Yeah, I would
I
say 40 and PlayStation X Plus Extra. I think this game will do very well.
this is the only game I believe that's actually exclusive to the PS5. Everything else that they showed was a game that is either having a simultaneous launch on PC or also coming to PS4 or whatever. But like, this is the one game that's actually exclusive to PS5. Um, I think whatever if they want to charge for it, cool. But I think you can't go $70. I don't think this is without seeing it fully. I still don't think this is a $70 game. So I think it'll be like $50 or something like that. Forte, what are your thoughts on the great
Once they try to
Astrobot?
hit you with that 70, put it in PlayStation Plus Extra.
Ooh, that would. Matter of fact, what's the first game in PlayStation Plus?
No, I think you just got it was just pre-downloaded on PlayStation.
Right, yeah, that was it. Yeah. Forte,
Yes.
Astrobot.
So since we're on the DPS channel, and we don't have to worry about monetization.
Oh boy, here we go.
We ain't gotta worry about monetization. We are here to basically let people know that as soon as I saw that, I started dancing in the store. I'm like, Astrobot. It started, I am Astro. I was like, oh Lord.
Why are you bringing up monetization? Are you about to play the music or something?
Huh?
You heard me. Are you about to play?
I was about to.
I'm not even mad at it because the music's fire, man.
I was about. Oh man. Oh wait. No, screw it. Where's it at?
Man, yeah, we can barely hear Forte.
Yeah,
It is kind of crazy that it's looking like Astrobot's gonna be their biggest game this year.
Dog.
Yeah,
No,
shoot, man.
As soon as I saw the game, I was like, look, I said, dude, more bosses, bigger bosses. Like they used they like made them look like different characters and all the like Journey, the character from Journey.
Did you see the Aladdin character?
Yeah, he looked like something Aladdin character. You see him look like Kratos throwing an axe. I was like, yo,
game's
this
gonna
is
do
gonna be
really well. I'm buying it day one.
Yeah, day one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Day one. Like, listen, remember, this is a funny thing.
Game
Remember,
might sell better than Ratchet and Clank.
listen,
It probably will.
No, I was thinking the same thing. The funny thing is, I remember everybody was making fun of PlayStation when PlayStation 5 came out.
Brian E says it's got 80 levels.
Oh, yeah, it's rap, bro.
70
level.
That's that might be a $70 game.
Man, I'm in
and
for
I'm buying it. I'm buying it. I'm buying this game, man.
Bro, listen.
I'm buying it.
I miss. Listen, if it's anything like people always talk about, like, oh, that's too long. I'm like, dude, I played Rayman Legends that had hundreds of levels, and I love that game because of all the music stages and stuff it had in it. The first thing I did when I saw Astro, as soon as I saw him sitting on the beach in the desert, I was like, they did it. They made, because we made fun. Remember people making fun of people? Like, dog, Xbox fans was like, y'all talking about y'all got all these great games on PlayStation, but y'all all playing Astrobot. Why? Because Astrobot was awesome.
Well, and they didn't know that because they didn't play it. Because if they would have played it, they would have known why everybody was playing Astrobot.
Man, Astrobot, dog. I literally, I couldn't even start another game until I was done with Astrobot. I was like, finish all the levels, collect all the collectibles. Astrobot's awesome. Just literally sitting in the menu, listening to the sound, because if you didn't touch the that's the fake thing, because if you were in when you were in the main, not the main menu, but when you were in the facility, and if you didn't like flip up on the thumbstick, he wouldn't come out of the ground. It would just repeat the soundtrack over and over and over again while you was there. And I'd literally be cleaning the room, listening to that soundtrack. And then it was over when I found that they put it on on Apple Music. Man.
It's making me kind of want to play Astrobot again. Not gonna
I'll
lie,
play it
man.
again before the.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, me too, man.
I'm serious.
I might have to go through it again.
As soon as I saw it, it's like the showcase was okay. It wasn't trash or anything. I felt like it could have been better, but all of the adjectivity went out the window when I saw Astro. I was like, yo, let's go. This is awesome. A platformer that was well done, that showed off all the abilities of what the DualSense could do in a tech demo. And we all said that so many people love the game so much. What would happen if they actually built a true functional game that was more than just showing off the benefits and the tech features of the PlayStation 5? Looks like we're getting it. And it comes out this year. It's gonna be the best game that comes out this year for PlayStation, bro.
Might be. I don't know, man.
Right here. I'm so happy, man. I'm happy to see this game, man, because it's like I literally was in my room dancing at the store when I was like, Astrobot. Oh, so good. And this is honestly played. If people, the funny thing is, if you really took a hard look at it, this is legit their mascot.
Yeah. And it should be. It should be, honestly.
This is legit their mascot. Like we talk about
you have a character that's well liked by adults and kids, and it's got like a family friendly feel to it. Like it's not boring as all get out. Aloy, Ellie's a little too violent. Kratos, the adults can dig Kratos, but maybe kids maybe you don't really care for your kids to really know what Kratos is all about, especially some of the older games, and you know what I mean. So you got Astrobot, and everyone likes Astrobot, unlike Sonic. Sonic sucks, but like Astrobot doesn't suck.
I agree. Sonic is.
Yeah,
it's the reason nobody wants to buy Sega.
So Addict, what did you think about the showcase overall?
It showed some solid games that I'm kind of interested in, and it showed like Astrobot. So I gave it a 7 out of 10. I felt like it was an okay experience. The showcase itself was okay. It's not like, besides that one game spinning like forever at the beginning, it was a decent show.
Yeah, I gave it pretty much a 7 as well. I thought it was I saw about 6 or 7 games that I know for certain that I'll be trying out. So for me personally, yeah, that was it was a decent show. I still wish we would have got a showcase. That would have been like something that would have given us like a roadmap. All the state of plays are more about showing you what's coming within like the next 6 months kind of deal. And I feel like they're a bit overdue for a showcase. And I know they had one last year, but the showcase they had last year only really showed what was coming for PlayStation and within the next year or so. And some of those games, even those games still aren't out, and they were supposed to be out already or close to be coming out. So I would prefer, yeah, a showcase. Hopefully that's something that comes before the year is up. But I thought it was decent. Forte, what do you think about it?
I think PlayStation gamers are still waiting for what even the future past 2024 holds. Silent Hill, a lot of people were going to be excited about that. I just don't like the overall ambience of what the game brings. It just doesn't feel like it
Hey,
doesn't
Forte, you
feel.
want to refresh your Jumbotron?
Oh, what is it doing? Oh shoot! Oh no, we promote real things now, ain't we? Hey, look at that.
I just like it.
That's real things right there. IOP.
When we get to just having it on the DPS channel, I'm just gonna host.
You
How's that
can.
sound?
I would
I
love
just
you if you
just
did.
yeah, because just yeah. Just go ahead, continue.
Well, well, listen. Don't be mad. We were supporting something that was amazing because we have a Iron Lord in here with us. He didn't complain about it.
That's a good recovery
He didn't
for just
complain.
not
He
knowing
didn't complain
what you
about it.
displaying. Could have been some other YouTube stuff that you were looking at and just rolled
Well, no,
into that.
that's just because the video wasn't set to loop. That's all. It just defaulted to the other tag. So be quiet.
No, I'm not gonna be quiet.
Be quiet. The show was great. Slow. No, the show was not great. Slow was okay. A lot of people are just looking forward to what PlayStation has to bring in the future when it comes to the things that the first party studios are working on. We just don't know what those are as of right now, outside of what Insomniac is doing around Wolverine. So, you know, we knew we wasn't going to get stuff like Ghost of Tsushima 2 or anything like that, but it would just be nice to know what's going on with some of the other first party studios. Even if we're not ready to announce games or stuff, we could at least, well, I mean, I don't know. They could have did something a little bit more, but they saved it with Astrobot for me because that's all I could. When I saw it, I was like, this is great.
For a second there, I thought they were ending it with
Monster Hunter.
With Monster Hunter? Oh yeah, I did too. But guess what? They knew what they were doing when they ended it with Astrobot. They know what they have with that.
It is kind of wild they ended it with Astrobot though. Like it shows you they don't got really nothing right now to end it with Astrobot.
Yeah, but Astrobot, I feel like is that's a strong finish. I honestly believe
it's a strong finish for a state of play.
Yep.
But it shows you that they didn't have nothing to do with showcase.
Nothing else really to. Yeah, exactly. Nothing. It was kind of like what Nintendo
because
would do.
That's a state of play ending. That's not a showcase.
That's
ending.
not a showcase ending.
Right.
Yeah. I agree with that. So I give
you need like a big, like the next Sony Santa Monica or Naughty Dog game to be like the one more thing at the end of a showcase. You're not doing Astrobot. Astrobot, you may want to open with Astrobot at the very least, right? But not. State of play is fine, but yeah, I think it's a decent state of play.
It wasn't trash, but
we were saying Tom Henderson said that it's supposed to be a showcase later this year. I mean, like we've heard from our homie B Money, who's also said the same. So I'm hoping it's going to be
showcase. We're going on 2 years and it's nowhere to be found.
I hope that's the case because they need to give us a roadmap of some games to come out, man. But let's get up out of here because I ain't had dinner yet, so I need to eat something. I know it's midnight. I shouldn't be eating this late, but I'm going to because I ain't going to bed with a growling stomach. Addict, appreciate you coming through. Let the fine people know where to find you and all that good stuff.
Find me on YouTube at Gaming Addict. You can find my YouTube channel that I stream on, Addict Arena. Twitter, it's Lord Addict. People that pulled up, man. It's always a a good show, man. I don't really normally do podcasts that I'm not like a panel of, but I don't mind popping in here every couple of weeks. I'm in here like once a month at least now.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't
well,
mind having you too. We don't mind having you at all.
no, we
Glad
love you,
to have
man.
you.
We love you.
We'll add your links to the description once post show and all that good stuff. Forte, what you got going on for the next week? What's going
Uh,
on with you, man?
trying to finish out the thing that we've been working on this channel. Well, that I've been working on the channel. Try to finish that out by within the next 2 weeks. I should be done with it. Other than that, playing games, enjoying games, getting ready for getting ready for a trip to Atlanta. Prepping for that. That's going to be July 15th through like the 21st or something, 22nd, something like that. I don't know exactly when, but getting ready for that and trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my kids over the summer because it's about that time
You
that
what?
I
You sound
said
like you about to give them away. Just
I
trying to
kind of
figure out
well
what
I
I'm trying to do with
do.
these kids, man. Might need to sell them.
Listen. You already know how it is. You got kids, you get all that freedom during the day when they in school, and then when they get out of school, then you have to
They're all in
officially
your
deal with them.
face.
They all in your
Yeah.
face. So what are you gonna do with them? Are you gonna put them in not daycare? What you gonna do with them? You gonna put them in some type of day camp, or you gonna send them off somewhere else to like the grandma or something like that that lives in another state where they can't come back easily? What are you gonna do? So that's what I'm trying
Can't come back easily.
It felt like neglected a little bit. Okay, during the school year,
What?
I didn't have to deal with you, but I don't want to deal with you now. I didn't have to deal with you during the school year, but I definitely don't have to deal with you now.
Definitely don't have to deal with you now.
Man, this man sound like he about to leave him at a Walmart and stay away. I'm just like,
You
what
about
are
to
you
leave them
we
at a
ain't doing
fire
that.
department on the steps.
We ain't doing that. I love my kids too much, but they my hearts. But I gotta figure
You
out
love
what
them
we
at your
gonna do.
mom's too, don't you?
Oh no, but they need to go. Well, listen. They should be blessed. They will be blessed to go see my mom in the Virgin Islands. I want to go see my mom in the Virgin Islands. But if I could get my kids to her for 2 to 3 weeks, that'd be great.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, but
for-
no, that's all I'm gonna be doing though. Looking forward to that and trying to figure out what we're gonna be doing for the summer and got to keep them busy. But outside of that, nope, just playing games.
Yeah, well, I guess
should.
that would, absolutely. For me, and I guess I could start talking about some of the things that's going to happen in June. So I'm going on vacation on June 10th, which is the day after the Xbox showcase. We will likely do a special DPS after the showcase, like Sunday night, because I will be in Myrtle Beach for that week, and then the day
My
of
girl's there right now.
at Myrtle Beach.
Mm-hmm. She went
Nice.
with the in-laws.
The 13th, which is would be the 2 Thursdays from now, is actually my anniversary. So we're not having the show that day, but we will have a special, because more than likely the show will be talking about the Xbox showcase. So as the main topic. So we'll just kind of discuss that on a special DPS after the showcase, and
Right.
that will kind of like fill into like our DPS of the week. But appreciate you guys for coming through. We're gonna get up out of here. I'm starving, but great show as usual. Great chat as usual. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your games, and we're out, man. Peace.
Peace.
You ended on your side?
I am ending it now.